Last we left our heroes, you set off on a recon mission in the town of Brundr Kiln that was now occupied by this unnatural alien force. These spawn that inhabit the flesh of fallen townsfolk, and when threatened or destroyed, seek to perpetuate their existence as a parasite, leaping to the next potential host. You were en route to a marina known as Goodtime's Landing, where you hope to find some collapsible sailing vessels with which you may ferry the saved citizens of Brundr Kiln south to safety. Getting a look from atop a temple of a moon deity, you saw the way forward was well trodden, and that very nearby a mass of these creatures had grown. Not a gathering, like a melding of their inky bodies into a gestating egg or cocoon. You circumnavigated this initial obstacle, made your way for a local smithy where Coulson recalled some potentially useful resources that would await you. After stocking up and finding a few treasures, you again made your way southward towards the hilltop basin. As you made your way, however, your path was blocked by another of these sinewy mounds, and after mulling over navigating around, you elected to pick your way carefully across, but not carefully enough. Triggered by your troop, the egg sac began to pulsate and gurgle as it split open to reveal a hulking amalgam of tarry sinew. This bipedal monster roared before bounding 30-plus feet right into your midst, and you fell into combat. Swiftly, you battled the beast, trying to keep at arm's length, and as swiftly as it started, the fight ended. You remained standing, slightly worse for wear, but alive. Your destination is not far from you. However, the sounds of battle have alerted more of these spawn nearby. Already, those of you who are perceptive are hearing several groups approaching from all different corners. What are you going to do?
We got to get out of here. Can we hurry now down the street to the water, to those boats, to Goodtime's Landing?
I think we need to move. Is there, remind me, Kyle, there was a pile of where it all came from, but there's still more goop and stuff there, right?
Yeah, there's what is remains of what would be the exterior, the shell of this cocoon, this egg thing. There's bodies of townsfolk that lie in piles around it, and then there's just kind of strands and tendrils that have seeped out, and that was what triggered it to kind of come to life and attack. Though what I will say as the battle has come to an end, there seems to be a lot less activity from those tendrils now that this creature seems to be destroyed. It seems to be, for lack of a better word, it's dead while the host or the creature itself is destroyed. So there's not as much threat in this direction from that, but there is threat amassing kind of in all directions from the other spawn around.
If we were to book it, how far, is this booking at distance, or do we still feel like it's a ways, it would have been a 10-minute walk, so we should still be a little stealthy?
Booking it is obviously the fastest, most expeditious way to get there. However, that is absolutely not stealthy.
Yeah.
No.
You would draw attention to yourselves with this crew running nearby. You guys are pretty fast. You could make it. Basically, you have to go down the end of the street and then up a hill towards Goodtime's Landing, which sits at the top of the kind of hill that is down into where the waterfall flows off of. So it's a bit of a steep climb. There's a road, so it's not like you're climbing, but it's relatively exposed as you make your way up the hill. So a full run is an option, but it's certainly the least stealthy. It's certainly going to draw attention and likely throw you into combat a secondary time.
What if we, in theory, got out of this area relatively quickly?
This is
it's a little bit of distance.
A little bit of haste. And
then kind of pause and try to hide a step, assess if anything's following us, and then we can move slowly.
In the south direction, run as far as you can and then hide.
Essentially, just because everything went down here really fast. There was obviously just activity here. Let's get a little bit further quickly. Just we put a little bit of distance between us and then start to try to be a little quieter.
I say we do it, because imagine us having this conversation on the side of the road. Yeah. I say we just do it. Let's run down that street underneath where it was.
You got it. You all take off into a sprint. There is no stealth involved here. You are just flat out running. And as you begin to tear over the street and are running, and you clamber up and around and over the amassed kind of nest, making your way around and just continuing down the street, kind of ducking through alleys into the next street over, and just kind of trying to zigzag, snake, and serpentine your way through this section of town. I'd like perception checks at disadvantage from anyone who wishes to. But
I was going to call for that. Could I also be looking, instead of looking for, if this is going to be like for things chasing us, could I be searching for, I'll tell you my plan. I would love to be able to throw a fire, whatever my little thing is, produce flame, at like some wood at a building, try and make some sort of distraction to like cause a fire there. So if I could look for an opportunity like that, that's what I'd be searching for.
There are several, but go ahead and make a perception check just straight for that, and everyone else can make perception checks at disadvantage for what else is around.
I have a straight roll because I have advantage. May I look for something specific?
Sure.
I want to look to make sure that we're not going to be stepping on any other tendrils or anything like that.
That's not a perception check. That would be more like investigation or survival.
Okay, I mean, you're welcome to tell me which one my investigation's better, but if we're running, is that even possible?
It'll be fine. It's just a disadvantage.
Okay.
Only 11 for my perception.
Not a hard DC. There are lots of structures here. There has been no rain. It is incredibly dry. Several structures are broken and fallen over, and tinder and broken wood is kind of ready to burn. There are trees that have basically died and are very withered and also flammable. Would not be hard to start a fire in the city. The bigger issue is potentially how far that fire would spread. But
yeah, that concerns me.
There's not a whole lot of else living around here, so it's not a major concern. In the immediate moment, you could do so.
I think I'll just log it. I think I'll have been thinking about it, but then I'm concerned about that, and so I'm just going to keep it in the back of my brain and keep going.
Okay. Investigation.
I rolled an 11 as well. 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 7 plus 4.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Oh man.
Allie,
what did you get?
Allie, did you get a perception?
2.
Oh no.
I'll throw.
Yeah.
What do you add to perception? Did you get a nat 1? How did you get the
My
2?
Oh, sorry. I did. I did investigation.
Okay, thank God.
Perception. Okay, hold on.
So your perception's decent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still
Hold on.
disadvantage, but it's decent.
9 and 10, so 9.
Not great. I would
Better
roll
than 2? Hey, better than 2.
Train's got a 17 at disadvantage.
Fuck, Decrane.
You
Come
Decrane.
through.
I always somehow roll really good for you guys when I.
Do you roll excellent specifically for Kevin?
Well, when I was playing Allie for the one game, also I was rolling pretty
That's true.
But then you jinxed yourself. You did say it. Now it's going to really turn. I think you really turned it.
good. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. So, the 11 for investigation, as you're looking to try not to step on any further tendrils to trigger any more of these nests. Not exactly a high enough DC to get a lot of notice. What I will say is, at a certain point, I'm gonna give the 11 the chance to stop yourself from impacting one. However, everyone else, you need to figure a way to alert everyone else, however you wish to, in an immediate sense, because they're gonna run into it.
Yeah, I think
do that without drawing attention. Because
Decrane,
as you're running to, is like pointing out, and trying to point out, like, you've got several on your tail. Decrane will call it the number 8. At least 8 are on your tail from various directions.
Yeah, I think I'd mention it ahead of time what I was looking for. What is the cat doing?
Decrane told us that there's baddies behind us.
He just just as you're running, he's like, 2 there, 3 over there. Like, he's just calling out, like, quietly as you're kind of running in your mile. and he's keeping tabs that he's at least seen 8. And as like you're running, and once they're called out and pointed out, you'd be able to kind of look over your shoulder as you're sprinting in. Like you're seeing creatures like running along walls and crawling and skittering and bursting out of alleys. Some are bestial, some are humanoid, but they are pursuing, and they are fast, so they will gain on you.
When I get to a moment that I think would be wise, and you can tell me when that is, I'm going to cast Entangle to try and slow them down behind us.
Great. I'll make... What's the range of... Is it a 20-foot cube? 20-foot square?
20 foot... 20 foot square, yep.
Okay.
And 90 within 90 feet of me.
Go ahead and you're going to catch a minimum 2, but roll a d4 for me to see how many others you can gather within this.
Got it. 1.
So 3 of them are going to get caught up in this.
D&D Beyond, you're really hating me tonight. It's been a lot of shit rolls.
Definitely failures from that.
Okay.
3. So 3 of them immediately, like as you're running, just quickly behind you, just throwing out the spell, just ensnared and drawn back, and you hear there's just kind of like awful like screech wailing of these alien creatures as you're continuing to run. However, back to Andy, you're about to come up to another point where another one of these eggs, you can't quite see the egg, but you're seeing the tendrils reach out that are, you can see the pulsating, you can see the faint kind of writhing and shifting. It seems to be like on the left side of the street, if you wanted to kind of edge to the right, pardon me. But the rest of your party is about to impact this area. Mm-hmm. Like, are you calling out like loudly, aggressively? What are you doing?
I think what I'm going to do is use some prestidigitation, because I do that within 10 feet, to just do like almost like little like spark, because it's just visuals, it's harmless. So just kind of like directly above it, like sparkler sparks at like eye level as like a visual cue.
Great idea.
I think with the rest of the group's passive perceptions, able to like spot that, see that as a threat. There's no sound involved there other than the vocal elements of the spell, which would be kind of caught up in the running anyways, especially Decrane running in half plate. It's loud.
Half plate now, jeez.
Yeah, he's got. It's not mithril. It's not quiet. There are still 5 running behind you, but you've managed to kind of avoid potentially running into this another one of these eggs. However, it's still there. You just haven't triggered it yet. So what are you going to do collectively?
Any way we can avoid this by like ducking down another side alley to try and get out of it?
You can head to the right, but it's going to take you further offline, off the path to the south.
Can we go up?
You could just try scaling buildings, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like, I wasn't sure if it's like how tall is the areas around here? Is it full 2-story buildings?
Yeah, you're in various levels of homes and building, businesses and things like that. But like a lot of things have broken and fallen in. So you do have like kind of easier access to climb up and run. However, structural integrity is compromised. So a little bit of give and take on that.
We could try something cool.
It's a path.
We could go building to building, try and jump from a building. I think that's really cool.
Cool.
Is that the plan?
Let's do it. Follow me.
Okay. This is going to be group athletics checks.
It's going to go great.
So, it's going to be based on the group. So you need 3 successes out of the group. I'm going to set the DC here at... The buildings are kind of broken down to give actually more chances for you to climb, but that also has compromised the structural integrity. So it kind of balances out in an even sense. The speed at which you're doing this, it's not planned. It's happening kind of off the cuff. I'm going to give it a medium difficulty of 15.
Can I ask for 1 shenanigans?
Yeah.
If we use our rabbit hop ability, our bonus action to jump 10 feet, can that help us in any way?
I would give it to you on a chance of failure because this is going to be a multi-round skill challenge.
Okay.
Because like It's not like one check.
Not
and
just
you
the
get-
leap.
You get 5 kilometers of running across buildings. No, you get like a small chunk, and then we're going to do it again and again for 3.
Okay, perfect.
Does parkour exist in D&D?
It's
looking
called
at it.
acrobatic skill.
Parkour.
All right. First
For this-
athletics check.
For this leg, we're going to do athletic check, straight rolls, DC 15s.
Oh, fuck. I only got 13, but that's actually pretty good for me.
One down.
I got
17.
a
Nice.
flat 16.
Great.
12.
Failure.
1.
Oh my god.
I could maybe use lucky footwork here to pass. When you fail a dex saving throw, is this a dex saving throw? This is athletics. It's strength. Never mind.
Does it?
Anyway, how important is this?
Does your Does your rabbit hop cost like resource?
Bonus action. Just bonus action. And it's
So
a long
you
rest.
can
It's
do
limited by a long rest. So I can only do 2 a day.
I've used 1.
I'll allow you to burn it to push yourself. You only needed 2 to hit the DC.
Yep.
I'll allow you to burn it to push over for that DC.
My DM is a grateful DM. Gracious, beautiful.
But it's still Kevin counts as 2 fails, so that's still even.
It
Well-
would even out to 3 and 3. Tie going to yourselves.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
It's
B.
still not great.
Oh, great.
Essentially,
This is the start.
because it comes at a stalemate, you gain ground on your pursuers, but you don't. You manage to circumnavigate the egg for now. Another failure like that causes enough alert for potentially that to burst, or more creatures to join the fray. The 5 are still in pursuit, and you watch as you're scrambling and leaping and pulling yourselves up and helping each other. Those of you who failed, the others are pulling up and over. Sections of board snap. You catch someone by their arm, pull them up, and as a group, you're all running across the rooftop from building to building, leaping, jumping across, looking back behind you. The 5 in pursuit of you seem to be able to spider climb and have gotten up onto the roofs with ease. They don't seem to be lost as a result of this. However, they could still, fall to broken buildings themselves as well. But for the time being, they seem to have held their ground. You've navigated around the egg for the time being. Next skill challenge here is going to be a straight acrobatics. DC 15 again, to be this leaping across dexterity parkour element as you make your way over the rooftops. On a success of 3 here, you gain further ground as the creatures behind are not particularly dexterous. They can spider climb, but they don't have the kind of dexterity that hopefully you'll have to gain that ground. DC 15s call them out.
I only got, I think, 13 again.
Okay.
Sorry, is this a straight athletics check or just a dice roll?
Acrobatics check.
Or acrobatics, sorry.
20.
Natural 20.
11.
No, 20 total because I have +3.
1 success, 2 fails.
I succeeded.
Okay, jumping back in. Let's
I succeeded.
recap.
I will say that.
3 successes, 2 failures means with the as a group using your various abilities of acrobatics, some of your abilities using raise, teleport feature, able to kind of quickly move yourselves from potential snapping, timber, pulling yourselves across, leaping from building to building, and even to the certain point of like getting across tighter alleyways between to another building, another home, scaling up to another level or down to another level. What I'll say is that puts a good amount of distance between, enough so that 2 of your pursuers you can no longer see. They're fast, so the other 3 are still kind of maintaining relative distance there, and kind of based on the first kind of stalemate, they're still in pursuit, but no new creatures have been added to this pursuit. You've continued to push south here, which is the direction you want to travel. You want to be heading south and then a little west. Your still like a couple minutes of a full run to the edge of the city before it starts to climb up this hill into kind of a more sparse, open terrain. Like this rooftop leaping will no longer be a thing after the next like couple minutes here. And it'll just be open terrain. At this point, I would also ask for perception checks all around at disadvantage, unless obviously you have advantage for some other reason. Before we go into the next leg of this.
D&D Beyond, you are just... I'm switching to real dice.
12.
You had a bad situation.
10.
last game.
I know. What is going on?
10 as well.
Okay.
Straight roll.
This is another acrobatics.
This is a
No,
perception
perception
disadvantage. Just to get you guys
17.
lay of the land. Is that your second roll or first roll?
First roll.
Okay. 17 it is. And Allie?
9.
Again, to Crane, kind of with that kind of renegade mind, ever looking for all the ins and outs, all the things that could go wrong and could go right for you, how to, when to duck for cover, when to look for other threats on the horizon. The further south you're getting, there's nothing immediately close to you in the town, but in this like overcast gray sky, there's still light, and you're seeing the further south you're getting, a larger camp of these creatures is set basically right at the south wall of the basin that rises where the waterfall would have spilled out into, and where the various hot springs would be set like into the wall, naturally kind of formed. All along the south wall is an encampment. And even at this distance, with your impressive eyesight and perhaps maybe a connection latent to these things, several eggs are gestating. Dozens, I should say.
Come on, man. How close does that look to...
That's more to the southeast from you, not directly south, but closer than you'd like it to be. At this leg of the mission, basically, I want to ask for your plan and what will become the final check in this skill challenge. Are you looking at this point to duck and cover and go for a stealth at this point? You've kind of gotten away from the bulk of things. Are you going to try and hide from these last pursuers? Or is there another part of your plan that you want to kind of throw at me that we can do kind of a group skill challenge here?
So I got...
Try to duck and cover. I can do a classic fucking burn a first level spell and Jesus Christ, what's it called? Catapult something 90 feet in a direction to cause a distraction if we need to. Maybe even something that's on fire, Scott. And try to
That's a good idea.
fucking huck something. Fire is kind of energy-ish. I know that's more of what they're attracted to, right? It puts out heat. Maybe that's something that would draw their attention a little bit more. But I can essentially, if you and I work together, get something 90 feet away on fire. But that's all I really have to offer in terms of distraction.
I am worried if we set something on fire, then we might have a new clock that's ticking of the people in the city are going to burn to death and we have to get them out.
It doesn't have to be fire. I can also just throw something really far and smash it through, like, I don't know, something, make a loud noise 90 feet in the opposite direction of whichever way we're going.
I like that idea. I was thinking, just as a completely random thing, like that dozen egg clutch, that would be good as a get the whole city, like we know these things are drawn to when those things are in danger or burning or something like that, so we can keep these in mind when we do try and get the people out to make a distraction by like destroying one of these clutches. I have 2 seconds left. I could use Pass Without a Trace, and then I'd only have 1 left before a long rest, but I could use it if we want to try and stealth. If you do catapult thing, I could use a Pass Without a Trace for us to stealth to the edge of that basin there.
Does anyone else have anything else they want to try, or any other ideas? Or preference stealthing versus, running through open space is what I'm concerned about.
So funny being low level. What were you gonna say to Crane?
Forget the stealth.
You were the one who said, "Hey,
The
You gotta
Crane
be smart
gun
about this. You gotta
out,
be
running
quiet.
towards the clutch.
Bang, bang.
There's a time for stealth and there's a time for action.
yes, right now is the time for stealth." I think actually, yeah, it's where there's a bunch of stuff chasing us, and we have to get in somewhere and then stay in there for a while. So hopefully they don't follow us there.
We have
What
to
can
fight.
we-
We fight.
We did that, and he almost died.
Here, let me jump in to add some context to a couple of things you've talked about. Firstly, setting fire to some of the buildings, as I described, can certainly cause a more widespread fire because of the state of the things, the dryness. There's been no rain, no water. However, as Coulson has kind of talked about a little, and as you would have come to find as you've been moving here, there are no other people hiding or living here. Like Coulson has been pretty, he's been active to try and pull people out, and there haven't been a lot of people to save. Anyone, especially in the south area, were the first fodder that became husks and hosts that you've seen their bodies being toted around by these creatures. So a lot less risk to people because there aren't that many people left, and the people who are left are way up in the Ilderfold Spire, up in the other end of the town, back in the safe house. The point about fighting, you have a couple of ranged people here, and you have time to turn and fire on 3 pursuers in relatively open conditions. The issue being they will be, obviously, as you fought them now several times, resistant to non-magical damage, but they don't have that much health. You fought them enough to know you need to be dealing about 10 to 15 points of damage that will hit, so at least 20 to 30 points of damage if it's non-magical. So, like, that's the resistance levels. And there's 3 of them.
And it has to be done quietly, right? Because like Kevin shooting them before is what drew them the first time, right? So you have a bow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kyle, would the whetstone work on the bow to make arrows magical?
It would make 1.
Okay.
It would make 1 magical arrow, but that would use the expended, like you can do it once a day.
Yeah. Well, we could just try and focus fire on these. Like that's probably a good idea.
How far back are they from us?
As you guys pause and turn, they are, if they dash, it'll be 2 rounds before they reach you at full dash. So you got some space. Actually, no, 3 rounds at full dash. Like you've got a decent amount of space.
Can we do, if everyone's comfortable with it, if we've just been kind of booking it and there's like alleys and buildings, can we do 1 jog so that the other people behind us could potentially not catch up if we've been doing a beeline from now? And then kind of turn and wait for them to corner and we all attack around a corner?
Kind of doesn't matter if you're on roofs.
Okay, never mind then.
Because you can kind of just see across.
No, you're right. Yep.
If you dropped down and wanted to wait, but then you have the disadvantage of shooting up and waiting for them to come from the roof down.
I have 60-foot range on a cantrip.
I only have 30.
They're currently sitting about 200 feet right now. So just outside of outside of regular bow range, you're within disadvantage bow range. But wait one more round and they'll be within range.
Brock, do you have anything range, or is all your shit up close?
Do you have a longbow?
I have a bow.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 bows.
You got 3 archers.
Let's do it. Let's prep a shot, 3 archers, and Andy and I
Yeah, but I have a
throw
longbow.
you guys on.
Okay. What I'm going to call for then is we're going to do like group initiative just to see do you beat their initiative or do they beat yours? So everyone just roll initiative. We're not going to go in initiative order. It's just going to determine my side or your side first. See who
Can
gets
I? Okay, I got an idea after that.
Ooh, I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Why am I
D&D Beyond
still-
hates me tonight too. What the fuck?
Why am I still clicking it? I don't get it.
I mean,
17.
I love AI and D&D Beyond. Please roll better.
Do you hear me, wizards?
11.
11, 12, 13 on their side. So I think 2 of you have already beaten them. Kev, what'd you get?
The crane bring us home.
18 and 4, 22.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Their focus is just dashing, obviously, so they're still at the start of this. As you turn to fire, they're 200 feet out, but obviously you can wait until they're within range. Your group will go first here. So those of you who have ranged abilities, are you just planning to do just fire arrows? What are you looking to do? And those of you who don't have anything to range do, is there anything you're doing?
I'm going to cast with my Fey Touched Bless on the archers.
Awesome. So you each get an additional D4 to your attack roll. Just a hit, not damage.
And then that's it.
Okay.
Ray is just going to float around us. That's how we'll cast Bless, little sparkles.
Each of your arrow tips just alight ever so gently with some of this Fey light. Andy, is there anything you're doing yet or holding?
I have an idea when they get within 90 feet, but other than that.
So for the first round, 3 of the archers fire. Coulson, you can take 2 shots. Because you're a level 5 fighter.
God damn, Coulson. Oh, you're muted, Coulson. We can't hear these. Yeah.
First shot, 10. Second shot, 21.
Okay, well, 1 hit, 1 miss.
Damn it.
Would a 14 hit? Like if you rolled it high on Bless?
That's right.
I didn't add. Sorry, I didn't add what.
Roll 1d4. The other one's not going to matter, but roll 1d4 for this 10.
Come on, Coulson.
3.
A 13 is the AC. That makes it.
Yeah.
Got a boy, Coulson.
Both hits. We're just going to do a group of, like, basically, it'll be 36 hit points that you need to work your way down through.
Sweet.
But it doubled to 72 because of resistances unless you're applying magical effects.
First damage, 8.
Great.
Second damage, 10. That's 18 total. 8 plus 10 is 18.
Nailed it.
We're also doing a math show.
Call him out for Decrane and Enid.
I rolled a 2.
Great.
You draw and fire, and it's not so much your fire is off. The creatures are skittery, they're odd, they're weird, and they manage to just dodge out of the way as they're running towards, like, they're humanoid, but now running on all fours, like, just for speed. Like, it's like breaking their bones and shifting and breaking just to make this happen in this weird quadrupedal form.
Are they on the rooftops as well, or are they running on the street?
No, they're on the rooftops as well.
Okay.
I rolled 18 to hit,
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage.
and then 10 piercing damage.
Nice. Do you want to add any of your
Ooh, good idea.
other features?
Ooh, I can. Yes, I will add. I'll do Dreadful Strikes.
That's the additional psychic.
So yeah,
So that's full damage.
that's full damage. And then 2.
Awesome. With that, you guys watch between one of Coulson's arrows and Enid, your arrow, both striking at the same creature, and it just topples off the side of the roof. You don't see it anymore. Coulson, one of the other creatures, you watch like your arrow embed and like takes a big hit. It stumbles, but it does continue running a step behind. They're just full dashing. They are. They go from 200 to 140 on their turn. You guys would have had to wait for them to come within range to take this turn, but that doesn't make a huge difference. So there's still 140 out at this point. The 2 that remain, as we come back around to you guys, Andy's still holding. Archer's taking another shot.
Still
volley.
Shoot them again.
Decrane, try hitting them this time.
Another volley from the archers.
We need some pitch. Because Augustus could be the lighter,
That's true.
dipping shit and
That'd
hitting
be
arrows and pitch.
13 to hit,
Hits.
6 damage, and then plus 2 again.
Nearly enough to take out one of the two who remains, but not quite enough. Coulson to Crane, arrows.
I rolled a 7, 15.
Great.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage for that.
And damage 1d8 plus 4. Rolled an 8. Plus 4, 12.
That does take out the same creature that Enid had shot. One of the other ones topples off the other side. You do see the little bit of a burst from its demise, but clearly not a problem. One still stands with 18 hit points with the halving of damage. Coulson, can you hit with 2 shots?
Come on, Coles.
Let's go.
First shot, it was a 12.
You would
Well,
hit with that?
I won't even roll it then. Second, 23.
Holy
That'll
shit.
Hey,
Is that a
Roll.
That's not a crit.
Roll damage.
First one, 10.
Okay.
Second one, 3.
They remain, however, with just a scant hit point left. Another volley. They still won't be able to reach in time before you're able to take them down. There's no, different maneuvers these creatures are trying to take. They're just going for straight beeline, getting peppered with arrows, hoping to dodge. But you guys are trained and skilled archers, able to take them out with a volley of only 3 creatures on your tail. Your pursuers end. What I would still say is I want a group stealth check, and you can take that whether you're going to hunker down and like take a rest and hide here, or going to pursue. But regardless, I want a group stealth check from you.
I will cast Pass Without a Trace on this one.
Then add 10 to everyone's stealth checks in the following moments.
D&D Beyond, what are we playing with?
Oh my
7? Or sorry, 8?
17.
I
I
also
got 24. I don't even need to add whatever.
I have a disadvantage on stealth.
That is correct.
Good call.
So I rolled first 19,
That's very nice.
and second roll a 7.
also
7.
17 plus.
Yeah.
17
I rolled
plus a little bit.
I rolled a 9, so 19.
Pretty good. Andy, sorry, I didn't hear.
17 total.
Okay. And then the follow-up is, are you going to look to like hunker down and hold for a minute, or are you going to try and just, now that you've got a little bit of breathing, make the beeline for the hill?
I think
I
it
was
would
thinking,
quietly move.
yeah, go for that hill. Yeah.
Okay.
Do.
As you guys begin to like come down from the rooftops and begin to make your way up this western hill, getting between the kind of openings from like the busier city centers where all these kind of businesses and structures are tighter together and streets are there, up into kind of like somewhat residential and areas. There's a lot more space between, and you're having to kind of dart from fence and overturned carts all the way to the edges of homes and kind of curling around, hoping that there's no kind of other creatures awaiting you as you make your way. But it does appear quiet. As you make your way in the direction up to the along this exposed road, past dried husks of old trees and all these kinds of things, into the midday, you begin to finally see this 2-tiered structure that sits just past the lip of the hill. The closer and closer you draw, a large sign rises from the roof that you can read, "Goodtime's Landing." The blue paint on the building's walls are chipped and flaking. The interior, as you get closer and closer, sits dark and cold. You can see that the lower half is likely the shop for boat rentals and tours and all these kinds of things. From the exterior at a distance, you begin to see several racks for single rider vessels, paddles, oars, scattered fishing gear. The upper floor you see on the backside is enclosed, whether it's a home or some other part of the structure of the business. But on the backside, leading off of that, is an open patio adorned with several tables, umbrellas, and barrels in wild disarray. As you come close, looking behind you, no creatures seem to be in pursuit. And at this kind of point, as you rise up onto the lip the basin, not quite fully there. You're still a little ways off from like the actual waterfront and Goodtime's Landing, just to give you guys time if you wanted to do anything before getting to the actual building. But as you kind of are up on this height now, you can look back to see the town, and it is just gray and demure, just sad. It's difficult to kind of put into words this like feeling of emptiness from a place you've never been to, but it just leaves you just a little longing for something and fearful of the unknown of what these creatures are. But you're a few 100, 200 feet away from Goodtime's Landing. What are you doing?
I say we keep going towards that Goodtime's Landing and see if we can find those portable boat things.
I think we need to get moving and make sure that nothing else sees us before we're able to get out of here.
What time of day does it feel like now, Kyle?
It's difficult to tell, but based on how long you feel like you've been going, you're into the mid-afternoon.
Okay.
But still, like, it would be daylight if it wasn't this perpetual overcast, kind of faintly gray, ashy, almost desaturated feeling here.
Is it worth sending out a squirrel friend, Enid, ahead of us, just to make sure that if we're not walking into another nest or something?
Send out Toot Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can send him out.
You want to activate Toot's?
Can I?
I don't
so.
think I've done it today.
I'm pretty sure he's not happened out today yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't have been in the last fight, so.
Yeah. Okay. I guess not. Okay. I'll send him out then.
Absolutely. Toot Sweet.
Can you give the call?
Toot Sweet.
Calls activated and Toot Sweet appears. Are you looking to
Wholesome
try
scene. Sweet.
Are you looking to try and send him in like a scouting mission, or more of just to have in case? Like, what do you want to do with Toot Sweet?
Yeah. I guess should we have him scout out ahead? Eh.
I think that's a good idea, yeah.
But all right, you go that way. Let me know if you find anything. Don't die and don't get eaten. You tend to do that a lot, so don't do that.
He's really sassy now. Oh my gosh.
Make a perception check.
We've gotten him poofed a lot, guys.
This is true.
bringing the
He's
sass.
losing faith in us.
It's like this shit again. Oh my god.
10.
As you kind of make the distance up yourselves, giving Toot Sweet time to kind of fly up, circle around, and come back. Toot Sweet just kind of comes back and lands on your shoulders, and just kind of looks at you with his
Oh. He didn't find anything.
No news is good news.
Is it though?
Toot Sweet's never led us astray.
Just wink at Toot Sweet.
Okay, let's go.
You guys come up to the edge of the building, and as I said, the lower floor you imagine would be kind of shop level. It seems to have that kind of vibe to it, but the windows difficult to kind of make out any interior as they seem to be boarded up from the inside. You can kind of look through and see like some darkened shop interior, but boards cover most of the windows. There's a door you make your way towards and give a little turn, and it seems to be locked.
Guys, there might be someone in here, so let's not be crazy aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, boarded up on the inside and things like this. I mean, someone had time. It probably might be around still.
Should
Do we
we
need to go just around the back, or do we need to get inside?
knock? Be like, hello, it's us.
Just kick the door down.
Colson, do you know these people?
Kick the door down.
You would know of them, but not be familiar with them necessarily. Like the Simon and Merle Goodtime, proprietors of this place. They've lived here their whole lives, but you never really, spent a lot of time with them. So,
Can I try and peer through the boarded up windows, see if I can spot anyone inside?
yeah, go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage.
My first roll, not with D&D Beyond. Did you say with disadvantage?
Yes.
Fuck, it's a nat 20 for the first one.
Is it a natural one?
Nat 1 for the second one. Oh, damn it. It's a night of all nights. Well, goodbye D&D dice.
Unfortunately, the disadvantage applied here for the completely darkened interior and your lack of dark vision. As you try to look in, like, there's no light inside to give you anything, and the boarded windows are providing no light in enough to give you any kind of inkling. And even the windows are just kind of like mussed up, and it's really hard to make out anything through them. So you get the vaguest idea of like an interior of a boat shop, but nothing of any particular note.
It's a boat, but also a shop. That's kind of what I got from that.
The last time we were on a boat and then also a shop, it went bad.
You're right. I hated that guy, though. He was so boring.
It was fun. He was going to tell us some great stories. He had cool things. I wanted to learn about them, and then he died.
He didn't die. He was brutally murdered.
Yeah, by not us. By not us.
Don't shout.
And they left the newt behind.
And we didn't even get to know its story.
I'm going to put my little paws to the door and be like,
Coulson, did you say their name was Simon and Merle?
Yes.
Simon, Merle, Goodtime. Are you guys in there? I didn't hear anything. I don't think they're in there.
Is the door... Could I try... Didn't any have a lockpick? Didn't we try and lockpick something earlier? Someone tried to pick it.
She tried to lockpick, but just with like a dagger, and essentially broke the lock. Unlocked it, but damaged the lock. And
Nettie, you did so well last time. Do you want to lockpick this one too?
I'll say, I can try.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So it's a dexterity check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Hey, if anyone's in there, we are coming in. Mostly because of scary things, and we don't want to get turned into weird zombie things.
19.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Wait. Hold on.
Come on, that one.
5.
5.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Less about your skill and more about the manner of the lock. Dagger too big, requires more finesse tools. Unfortunately, you're just kind of blunting your dagger at this point. And just you're kind of taking a little too much time. And at a certain point, you realize just to cut your losses, you're not going to be able to get through it this way.
Is there like a second floor to this boat house?
To the shop? Yeah. There's a second floor, and there's an open patio on the second floor, like I said, with like umbrellas and, a place for like a, bar area.
Do you want to boost me up?
Sure, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I can throw up the bunnies.
Throw up the bunnies.
Easy enough. Tossing a child up and over the edge.
That's funny,
you want
child,
to
you.
Both of you are able to kind of get up onto the second floor. And indeed, like it's just kind of in a bit of a scattered array. Picnic tables and umbrellas and barrels all kind of scattered around in this area that likely was once a gathering place and bar. From this height, with both of your passive perceptions, you kind of get a nice lay of the land to the south. With your focus on the shop itself, no one's really had a look to the south to the actual dock, but this gives you a better perspective. From here, you can see there is a dock just off, kind of the other side of the shop that leads out into the water. But the water, unfortunately, seems to have been, whether dried because there's been no rain or something else. The water level has receded significantly. Where you imagine it likely came out to where this dock is, it now sits 100 plus feet deeper into just dry, barren lake bed. And there is a small sailboat that is sat at the dock, keeled over and fallen into part of the dock, beached, where you can see on the back is the Goodtime.
We think we found their boat, but we're going to try and get in from up here. Hold on.
There's a door at the backside of the second enclosed section.
Okay, Nettie, just like when we used to steal cookies off the ledges of the neighbors, let's be real stealthy like.
Okay.
Go to the door, try and open it.
It's locked.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Hey, if you can look in, can you like buy up damn fin? If you can find like a viewpoint?
I think she said she wants us to look inside it. Is that what she said?
We could try.
Can I just try and use Primal Savagery and rip off this doorknob?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Make an attack roll.
Fuck this door. 26.
Yeah, I mean, easily. Go ahead and just roll damage.
7 of our acidity solar damage.
Yeah, with the Primal Savagery, just snaps the knob straight off and breaks a section of the door, and this kind of faint like of this solar energy, and the door now just kind of hangs a little limply.
Oh, it looks like it was unlocked.
And I'll just slowly open it a tiny bit.
Not the quietest sound. Those of you below definitely hear this kind of like chunk sound. Not so much so that like, further down, like you'd be really worried about it. Broken glass would probably have more of a draw than this kind of instant kind of thunk feel. You kind of hear more of a crackling, kind of singeing burn from up here, but it fades as you guys are able to enter the unlit interior. There's a there's an immediate kind of interior bar area, and you can see immediately to your left a long bar, more tables inside. There's windows that lead out, a couple of the other doors that are closed, presumably leading to other rooms, but there's a stairwell that leads down and below almost immediately to your left.
I'm going to cast Produce Flame just for a little light in here. And as we go down the stairs, can I just check for if they tried to trap this up for anything?
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check at disadvantage. No, you have Produce Flame. Straight roll.
How's a nat one sound?
Like I said, disadvantage. Your this is how we'll play this. As you guys begin to like slowly, comedically tiptoe down the steps, just lit by this little flame, Ray just faintly kind of curling behind, Enid right behind Augustus, looking like keeping your head low, looking along the steps very carefully, trying to do as careful a job as possible. Does a 21 hit you, Augustus?
Oh yeah, sure does.
And that's a 19
for Nettie
to hit you.
Oh, again? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
As you kind of, it's like a switchback staircase. As you come around the other edge and are like on the kind of like the flat level on the landing bit as you're coming down the steps, just very carefully looking. You can't quite see further out until the Produce Flame lights up enough. And you watch a very small figure just kind of dart out, and you don't get a chance to like get any information on them before a empty wine bottle smashes into your face. You take 9 points of slashing damage as a second one clocks the side of your head from off to the left, just as you ducked in. These shattered bits of glass go everywhere, caught in your fur. You feel blood kind of begin to drip down into your fur. As he says, "Nice shot, Merrill! Throw it out!" And there is another one rearing up to throw as the light catches.
Stop it.
Another 2 halflings, one on top of a bar, very kind of disheveled, kind of crazily hair, very greased up, old kind of gray hair, glasses kind of slightly askew from the crazed look, bottle about to be thrown, throws it.
Simon and Merle, you gotta stop this. Coulson sent us.
That's a 2. The momentary shatters on the ground.
Jesus Christ.
The 3 of you outside hear the distinct sound of shattering glass and muffled voices that are suddenly growing louder and louder. As Merle on the tabletop says, Simon, they're not with them. At least, well, they look like cuter than them. And Merle, or Simon, with a broken bottle in his other hand. Who are you? What are you doing in our shop?
My name's Augustus. This is my sister Nettie. Nettie, say hi.
Hi.
We're with Coulson. We're with a group of survivors. We were just looking to help them get out of the city.
They look at each other, kind of back and forth. How?
You guys can help with that.
How?
Do you mind if we open the door to get Coulson and just 2 other of our friends in here? Because it's kind of scary outside. We met
persuasion check.
We met a turtle guy. They were really nice. Their name was, come on, Nettie, you remember the name of the turtle guy? Their name was Fira's Rest. Daedra. It was the name of Daedra.
That wasn't the person.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
9.
They are, they're kind of backs are against the wall, but like you're clearly not with the creepy monsters.
We don't look it, yeah.
Yeah. So like there's like this weird like we don't trust you vibe, but they both kind of look at each other. All right. Just keep your distance.
Okay.
Stand over there, and he kind of just points into the middle of the shop.
Right here.
Just over there.
Right there. Okay.
Now just a little that way.
Okay, sorry.
And light down.
Hello? So like, Augustus Enid!
Hold on.
It's like a very polite knock.
Merle just kind of quickly pads over, fishes out keys on a ring, unlocks the door, and just opens a crack, and you just see like bloodshot eyes of this older halfling who looks up.
I'm about 4 times taller than him.
It's a little frightening. Come in. They open the door in, and it creaks in as the 5 of you are reunited inside with these 2 figures. Hey, stand over there with your friends. The 3 of you. Now.
Okay.
Guys, this is Simon and Merle.
Both of them are just kind of very jittery, but at this point, door locks behind. Simon goes over to Merle, who's still kind of just settle down. It's okay.
Hiya, how you going?
Bad. Give us a second.
Yep.
Okay. They have a very hushed dialogue, which you can all very clearly hear.
They smashed a bottle on my face.
Oh,
you can see bits of green glass stuck in his fur.
Is this blood or wine? I can't tell.
That pot's blood, that pot's wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The conversation between the 2 of them, Merle is definitely on the edge. Simon has now seen that you are very clearly not with the enemy here. Doesn't the name drop of Coulson doesn't seem to have any effect, or these other people you've mentioned, but seems to be trying to calm him down and just like, that could be our way out of here. Let's just listen to them. I can't stay here any longer. Simon kind of turns back to you. All right. Speak.
Hi. We came to the city to try and help. We don't have a cool name yet. We're kind of like working on it. And please don't think bad of us. Like we haven't really gotten into that conversation.
That's a misstep. I don't want to overstep, but it's a misstep.
I know.
You're missing a chance for a branding opportunity, really.
I really like Good Times Landing. Like as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, what a sick name. That's so great.
Thank you.
We were chatting to some other survivors in the city, like Coulson, and there was an idea of maybe we could use, were there like portable boats here or devices that could unfold into boats and we could try and get people out through the water? Does that make any sense to you?
I suppose we have. And Merle says, they just kind of go back and forth, but just like, well, where do we put those? Well, they weren't really getting used. We were debating getting rid of them, but I didn't want to get rid of them. I thought I could repurpose them. And he said, well, what did you do with them? Like they have this little discussion back and forth. It takes like several minutes of like this kind of banter of like the old married couple back and forth of like, why did you put them there? Like, why can't you just leave them out here in the shop so they could get shot? And then back and forth.
Maybe just circle back. Yeah. Okay.
It kind of throws up their hands a couple times to shush you while they have their discussion.
My fault. Sorry.
Merle throws his hands and he walks back up into kind of the back side of the shop. And Simon says, my husband is a tinkerer and he gets... he likes to keep things, so hopefully we have them. I didn't like them. They were clunky and unseemly. But... hopefully we have them if they will help in any way. We hadn't thought of to use them before, honestly. But if they can help, I suppose. The lake is kind of dried up pretty significantly. You'd have to walk out into the open for a little ways, but you have the muscle behind you to row south. It's a long ways, but it'd be doable.
Yeah, I think the thought was to get them back to up where we were. And is it the same lake? Is it a different body of water? I'm having a hard time. Leah's having a hard time remembering the geography.
It's only one lake.
Place. Gotcha.
Inside the thing.
We were more north.
From a mass, pulling out of the map perspective, the city or the town of Brundr Kiln sits in the shadow of what is this kind of risen up mountainous wall where the waterfall overflowed and the hot springs were kind of embedded in the wall. But at the top of this it's just a hilltop, this massive this basin of a lake sits up at the edge and leads off far to the south. It's a rather large lake that kind of extends the full width of the city, but extends south into Ironhome a relatively extensive way, and would solve the need to try and get over the chasm that is formed on the exterior, hedging in the city.
If you could find them, we could try and lead people through the city here and kind of guide you to the lake. But then I think our plan was to kind of try and cause a distraction so that you guys would have an opportunity to go without any of those spooky, scary things chasing you.
Actually, I think we were going to not even try to bother bringing, because then there's like kids and like people who can't walk, was to try to like, if they're portable, bring the boats up north and depart from there. I think was the thought, rather than trying to get like a bunch of kids through the city.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a good idea. I don't know if I can do that.
Which part?
Leaving here and going into the town.
I mean, as if there's enough boats, could you guys not get on one and depart from here out into the water? I don't know if these things can go in the water. Can these things go in the... Coulson, can these things go in the water?
The creatures you've not seen in the water, but this is kind of the only water. The focus has been in the town.
What he said.
Right. So we don't know. Okay.
We don't have the strength to row the boats, so we would need someone to aid us. But we're happy to provide, and if it means getting out of here, then we'll find a way to make it work.
How many people can go on one of these things?
Well, for your size, 6 hours.
Okay. How long would it take to row up there? Could we get there? Could we get there from here? And like, if we depart from here together, row up north to collect people instead of going through the city, would that be preferable?
I think you're just losing the geography of it.
Yep.
You can't row up north to the middle of the city.
No, but at least to a spot that's slightly closer to wherever they were going to depart from. If we were going to depart from the
you
top.
could go along the lake over to the east
Yeah.
and find a spot that you just then have to hole up until you're able to get the rest of the people out.
Right.
That's doable. You just don't have that spot picked out.
Yeah.
Or scouted. But it's admittedly, it's a safer idea to use the lake than it is to travel back through the city with these two, non-combatants.
So we could, I don't know if this is actually just your idea that you said out loud, Andy, but we could take one of the boats now. If there's, how many of us are there? 5 of us?
You need 2 boats. But
We could take 2 boats now and try and get to that spot that you were thinking, a rendezvous spot. We could take all the other gear, and then we could wait there, or we could have the boats wait there, and then we could go back into the city and try and get the people out to there. Is that what you were thinking?
Possibly, yeah. The only concern is timing. We weren't planning on kind of doing this all on the same day. This would kind of force us to do that. Unless, Coulson, if you know there's any other place to hole up kind of between that spot and the name of the resort that I can't remember.
Goodtime Landing?
Nope, the other one.
Oh,
Cold Spire.
Yeah.
You can pick out a couple of other, safe havens between here and there, but if you wanted to, you can roll me a check to see if you can think of a good place on the east side that would make sense to be the kind of rendezvous near the water. If you want to roll me a history check, Coulson?
I almost took like Animal Messenger. That would have been handy to send back like a message to them.
The other thing is, like, if we're going to cause a distraction, I think we might need to sleep before we're properly fighting a bunch of these things.
19.
Nice.
Yeah, you can, as this plan kind of begins to unfold, there's a good farm that is out on the east side that is kind of up near the water's edge. It'd be obviously down the hill enough that you'd have to, you wouldn't be right on the water, but it'd be close enough that it's a less populated area. Likely less of these creatures would be nearby, and it does have, it's part of like a mill, so there is kind of elements around for you to kind of store people and hide things. So it would work as a good secondary place, and it's kind of in this area you're talking about.
That could work. It's a good
Water
plan.
access. Yeah.
Yep.
And whether we all rest there and then try to make our way in, or if I don't want to split the party, but like either just they rest or some of us rest. Option 2 could be, which may not seem feasible the more I talk about it, depends on how heavy this fucking sailboat is. Find a way to get that more into the water, and they could like fucking sleep on the sailboat in the middle of the fucking lake if they wanted to.
Unless those things can swim.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But I also don't know that this party specifically is strong enough to get a sailboat unbeached. We don't have Alana Brawlwyn with us.
Or Mary.
As you're having this discussion,
Strong.
you hear the clatter of bottles falling and smashing and the clunk of wood as Merle tries to carry 6 briefcases simultaneously in his small frame as he comes around the back, all kind of haphazardly stacked and carried, and tries to, and then he just they spill out in front of them. One of them pops open and unfolds into a boat. It does kind of clobber in and hit half of your shins. It hurts. But you get to see these wooden boxes that under the artifice magic and tinkering, they create about 10-foot long boats equipped with oars that are inside.
Great.
There's a mast and sail that is kind of tucked and folded down, and large enough, like I said, to carry about 4 medium-sized creatures and a couple more if they are small-sized.
You made these.
Well, I made this one and that one and that one. The others we purchased, and it's the same design. I just modified it a little bit, just ever so
That's
slightly.
brilliant. This is great. Thanks to the magic.
It's actually it's magic adjacent. I don't know if any of you know much about magic, but this is not exactly magic. It is the side magic of artifice and tinkering. It's the blending of mechanics with a little bit of juice to make things go.
Juice.
Mm-hmm.
We got that juice.
Simon just says, "Shh, let's not get. This is not the discussion we're having right now. When can we leave?"
Could we have a tiny rest here and then go?
Sure. Actually, that gives us time to gather our things.
Oh, and if you like, this place was like a bar, right? How are you doing for like rations and things?
I have none left, thank you.
Okay, never mind. I was saying a lot of hungry kids. Okay, we have a bit we can share. Actually, I don't know how much I have left. Good berries
We've
are gone, right?
been mostly drinking wine for the last 2 weeks.
I will cast Goodberry right now.
Nice.
Only got one first left.
Do you want me to do one too? I have Goodberry as well, I think.
You have Goodberry?
Oh my god.
Do I- Oh, wait. Do I have it? Oh, I don't have it equipped.
No worries. I'll cast Goodberry. Everyone can regain 1 HP.
1 hit point across the board.
And these guys can actually have food. They can
You
eat
guys
some
eat
food.
1 berry. And do feel full. The two of them natter a little bit back and forth at each other, but then they dart off to collect some of the things as you are able to get a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, can we take a short rest?
Sure.
Let's heal up, gang. At least I need to heal up. I think I was... Okay, I'm up to max. I'm great. And now I got my wild shapes back.
Yeah, because
Gord's got his warlock spells back. That's
weren't
good.
some of you guys hurt from the fight? Like you haven't healed up yet from the fight?
No, I hadn't. And I honestly got my ass kicked by these halflings. Just bashed me in the face.
I'm good.
Okay.
Are you good? One of you was really hurt. Are you good? Have you taken any health?
unconscious in the last fight?
I was pretty low, but I'm back to 34 out of 44. So.
Okay, great. And Decrane, what are we at?
I'm like a 37.
Okay, great.
Throw out passive perceptions again for me.
There's 16. Holding the
I
rod.
didn't mind saying what 18.
Okay.
Your passive perception.
Oh. 17.
17.
Man, music's very creepy if something creepy is about to happen.
About like 40 minutes into this rest, from the various points in which you guys are kind of holed up here, whether you pass by the window or happen to be just looking out, just trying to gauge your surroundings, you do see the sight of some of those creatures kind of making their way up the hill, searching. You lose sight of them for a minute, but there are slower and slightly more methodical in their approach.
Have we seen anything like that?
No.
What if, remember Degrain said that moment when he was almost dying when Nettie had to cut one from his heart? Actually, I think Degrain did that. It was all a blur. It was really gross. But remember, Crane, you said you were like connected to them and you felt like they're all connected? I wonder how far that goes. Like, is that just for these ones? Is that for the ones we fought on the mountain? Is that for the stuff that was infecting? I was going to say Aurora, but that's not her name.
Ursa?
Ursa?
I mean, that one guy, he was kind of a mage, and he had some intelligence to him.
That would just mean they know our faces. They would have just seen us kill one of these things. And if those little guys were just like hunting us, we could be becoming enemy number one for these things.
They seem intelligent, which is not good for us.
Yeah. I know those two are getting ready to go and we should be leaving soon, but even if we get these people out of the city, and Coulson, I don't know if we told you this, but we still have to get in behind that waterfall and plant a new rod there for the divining network. Anyways, just something fun to think about. Let's go move these boats.
To finish the rest, you guys wait the additional 20-ish minutes of this kind of discussion happening and looking out, keeping an eye. You don't have any further sight on these creatures, whether you just haven't made any additional perceptions. They haven't shown themselves. Maybe they've turned back. You're not sure, but you've lost sight of them at the end of this hour rest. You are now fully rested. We come back to present time. Simon and Merle are still upstairs, kind of going through things.
I'll go up and get them.
Okay, I think we're pretty ready to go if you guys are ready to go.
You come up to see like 3 or 4 large like suitcases that they have that they're like packing and putting away and like taking art and like wrapping very gently and putting in nice sheets that they're kind of tucking into one of the cases, and they look over. Just maybe 10 more minutes. We'll be good to go.
Okay, just like a tight 10 though, like a real quick 10. And I think it was only one carry-on, is what I heard. So
well, there's several of you who don't seem to have anything, so
I
you could
guess
use assistance.
that's true.
I just go down the stairs.
The door slowly gets closed on you.
Oh no.
This is every one of our parents packing for a trip. This is what this
Yeah.
This is me back for a trip.
They continue doing what they're doing upstairs. Is there anything you guys are going to do for the next 10 minutes?
Let me check something.
Hmm?
Have I used that spell today?
I think I'm set.
D&D Beyond, can you chill? Yeah, I did. I already used it today. Shit. I'm gonna cast Detect Evil and Good through the rod, but I've already
Ooh, that would have been good.
did that for the same purpose today. Unless, wait, that does not automatically reset when I hit long rest. Have I done? I know I did it last night.
I don't know if you did it today.
I don't know. I don't remember, honestly.
I don't honestly. It's been so long since.
I think you did it before Kev got eaten by the spooky ink monsters, but I don't think you did it the next day.
I honestly don't remember.
I mean, I'm okay using it if I don't remember it having an effect. I don't remember
Yeah, it's Detect Evil and Good. I can't remember if you said, Kyle, that if I'm.
Did you use
These
it
are
in,
only.
the smithy?
Pardon me?
Did you use it at the smithy?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
It's
I
the only other
used
spot I can think
Detect
of.
Magic at the smithy,
For sure.
but that was ritual.
I just don't remember if you did anything else there, but
I don't remember either. And unfortunately, yeah, the items don't automatically reset. I have to remember to go uncheck the box every time I do long rest. Yeah, I mean, I could detect
That's
Evil
fine.
and Good when we're close. I'll save it until we're closer if we're going to leave, because it only lasts 10 minutes.
True.
so you have the 10 minutes here. Other than that, is there anything else the rest of you are doing or just waiting?
I'm just waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, wait.
Ooh, actually, maybe one of you should use this sword thing or this whetstone. Maybe Coulson or DeCrane, because you're melee peoples.
Someone use it on your sword.
Coulson, are your swords magic?
No. I was like, let me check.
No offense to Green, but Coulson has been super cool with his swords. I think he should probably use this whetstone.
I respect a warrior's abilities, no matter what that means for me.
That's why you respect me. And then I'll give the whetstone to Coulson.
It does not require attunement, so Coulson, with this whetstone, you are able just to sharpen your blade as if it was a normal whetstone. However, it will become, for the next hour, a +1 sword, which deals it makes it a magical weapon, and it adds 1 to the attack and damage rolls for an hour. So should you encounter something in the next hour, have that benefit.
Will be good.
As you guys are approaching that 10-minute mark, Simon and Merle begin to kind of descend in this very clunky downstairs, trying to move these large suitcases. One tumbles down the steps, rather large, but they're trying to make their way. Just as you see a shadow pass on the western wall, something outside, humanoid in shape, begins to kind of pass and walk, and then you lose sight of it behind shelving and things. You hear just the faint, just kind of like claws on the side of the window and walls.
Can I look over to see if Simon and Merle are reacting as if they've heard this before? Like
you look over to them and they both freeze and are pale. And they just look at you with terror. Uncertain.
I just put a pop to my little mouth.
They hold quiet. I'd like everyone to make stealth checks for me.
How long has it been? Oh, it's been more than an hour. Fuck.
More than an hour. D&D Beyond. We meet again. 10.
18.
1 success, 1 fail.
10.
Fail.
Come on, Coulson. Come on, DeCrane. Bring us home. And DeCrane, don't forget, you have a disadvantage.
1. Doesn't matter.
All right, everyone roll initiative. Here we go.
It's stealth, right?
Yep. Getting at 20 might be the only option here.
8?
Nope.
As everyone locks and freezes in place, a series of ridiculous happenstances happen as the suitcase topples over. It lands on a bottle that flips and flies over into the back wall of bottles. DeCrane, you turn, just expecting enemies to be bursting through there based on the sound. Gun drawn. As you turn, you smack Coulson in the side of the face. He turns, knocks over a shelf. The table flips and flies. One of the windows shatters. The oars and rope from the ceiling that are decorative swing down and shatter a different window. It is a mess of your own making. As several of these creatures roar from the exterior, and through one of the broken windows, you can clearly see a line to a creature that is similar in makeup as one of the hulking spawn. This kind of not quite as large, more humanoid sized, but it is the same venom-like kind of appearance, this kind of sinewy, black, oily tar body and face that has a faint draconic, it's kind of got a snouted face, but the tendrils that would be like dreads are all just kind of rising and writhing as tendrils, bipedal, and has piercing eyes of a brilliant kind of yellow or orange that you can see immediately lock eyes with your group and its smile kind of widens. A tongue lashes out, ready and hungry. And there's intelligence in this creature. There's organization in this creature. There's strength in this creature that hits a point of fear within you that you have not yet faced within these creatures. And that fight will face next time.
Oh god!
I'm fucking ready to go now. Let's fucking go. Let's tango.
If it wasn't 11:20 and I didn't have the boathouse set as a fight, as a map, I would want to play it out now. But it's
You could
late,
make a really cool map too. You could,
and I want to make a cool map.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to make a cool boathouse map fight.
I thought we agreed that my katana traps the dead souls of the people I kill. Didn't we agree on that?
Yeah, you just haven't killed any people. These are not living people.
Do these things have souls?